Hey everybody, Jam Creates here. Got another comic book review for you. This time it is number 2 of Tinsel Town. Issue 2 of Tinsel Town. This is number 2 in a 5-issue limited series written by David Lucarelli. David Lucarelli. That was easy for me to say. Um, from Alterna Comics. $1.50. And this is from last year, this series. But you can go on the do what I did. Go on the Alterna website, go on the shop there, and order yourself some goodies that you missed along the way if you did miss them. And this is one of the ones I missed last year. So I was definitely excited to get a hold of it. I ordered the whole series, and I'll be reviewing the whole series. First and foremost, this is, like I said, the second issue. It's issue number 2 of a 5-issue series. And first, I just want to say, what a great cover. This is a great, great cover right here. Like, look at it. It's dramatic. It's beautifully drawn. It's got this incredible perspective to it. This is the kind of thing that you look at and you're just like, whoa, what is happening there? Like, you see this on the newsstand. Like, you're walking by and you're like, oh, whoa, what's going on there? Like, it gets your attention because it's definitely, like, in a world where so many covers now are just portfolio pieces, a dynamic cover like this that tells you story, it tells you something that's going on in the issue is rare, and it shouldn't be, but it is, and it's really well done. And if you read the first issue, this is where the first issue left off, literally on a cliffhanger. Well, it's a water tower hanger, but you know what I mean. So we jump in. Abigail Moore is one of the first female police officers in Hollywood. She's climbing up this water tower because there's a guy up there who is not happy, let's say, even though it's ironic because his name is Happy. But she comes up to talk to him and see what he's doing and try to help him, even though it's her first day on the job. So she is like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but I have to do something. Because the first issue ended where somebody was like, "You're a cop, right? Go do something," because he was standing on the edge, like and saying he's gonna jump. So they go up there, and it turns out his stage name is Happy Wilson, but that's obviously not his real name. Turns out they found out he's got some gambling debt, and again, this is, I don't, does it say the actual year? I don't think it does. Oh, I forgot to do credits. I always do credits. Story by David Lucarelli, art by Henry Ponciano, lettering by HDE. Again, really good art in this book as well. And also, like, spot on coloring. And so I'm assuming, because it just says art by Henry Ponciano, that he's also doing the coloring as well. And I know it seems simple, it just seems like flat colors, but there is some shading to it, and it's like right where it is where it's needed, and no more. Like, it really is a well done, I really like the look of it. So anyway, she goes up, and she's like, it turns out he's got these gambling debts, and so they want to cancel his contract with the studio. So he's like, there's nothing I can do, I'm just going to commit suicide. He's finished. Like, they're not going to give him another chance. And so she talks to him, and she's like, not every, get ahead of it. Go get yourself into another studio. Maybe not every studio out there will have the same, morality clause as as Utopia Studios does. And he's like, you know what, you're right. I should at least try. And then he slips, and she catches him at the last second, and then they come down, and there's like a giant crowd, and they're cheering and everything else, and he's just like, take a bow, and he thanks her, and they basically just pretend that the entire thing was staged, that they were filming it, and he's like, oh, it looks so real, and he's like, hey, that's why they call it acting. And she's just like, mentally just shaking her head, like, what the? And then people are asking for an autograph, and so, just she's like, what the heck is this? What kind of job did I get myself into here? And then later that night, she goes on a date with the guy she met on the the line for the auditions, and she likes him, but he's got big plans, a lot of dreams. He's younger than she is, and there's no spark there for her. She's like, he's a nice guy and everything, but like there's just no like there's nothing there really. So like, she comes home and she's talking to her friend, and they're like, we should go to this other place, Gower Gulch. It's where all the Western people practice their rope tricks and falling off horses and all that kind of stuff, hoping that they could be the next cowboy star for the Westerns. Because again, this is a time of, a time and age where Westerns were huge. They were like, one of the biggest things out there. So a lot of these guys make sense. Guys coming from Oklahoma and other places are practicing to try and become stars. And she said most of the time they just get picked up as stuntmen, but once in a while one of them will get a bit part with a line or two or something. And then Abigail has a great idea. She's like, well, if there's going to be cowboys, I guess some of them know how to shoot guns, right? And she's like, sure. And she's like, I'm going to go with you to this, because she's got the gun that she can't even use because it's got blanks in it. So they go in, and her and her friend, Betty, they meet a couple of cowboys, and one of them agrees to teach her how to shoot. And I like this. Like, this car pulls up. It's actually really funny. Like, they're right away. They're like, do you know they're if they're hiring anybody? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I just work. I just started. I don't. I love this. Like, this guy shows up in the car, and they're like, okay, it looks like we're on. If you'd stand back. So they try this little like trick. With the lasso and the gun, and the guy's like, yeah, cool, but we need two for falling off horses and a jump off a cliff, $10 and a free lunch. And I just love the way he puts this. I'll take the mustache and the beard. He doesn't even like I don't even want to know your names. I don't care who you are. You're the mustache and the beard, and you're gonna be my two guys. And if one of you accidentally dies while you're doing these stunts, oh well, we'll find somebody else. Like, that was the attitude back then. You could tell, like, they just, like, whatever. These guys are expendable. So they were like, oh, too bad. We were hoping we were gonna earn our keep. So Abigail explains that she wants to learn how to shoot and how she's a cop, but she's not really a cop. She doesn't really feel like a cop. So they go out to this place, Bronson Canyon, and they say they shoot a lot of movies there. And so they stay, and he's teaching her how to shoot. And so they keep doing it, and they keep, they're trying. And Betty and the other one leave, and then she winds up actually kissing the cowboy. So a little romance for Abigail. That's a good thing. Again, this is not your typical book. Like I said in the first one, this is not normally, I think, the type of comic book I would be attracted to, or that I would want to read necessarily, because it's not superheroes, it's not action and adventure. But there's something about the era, like seeing this era of old Hollywood, that is very intriguing to me. I'm somebody who loves that kind of stuff. I watch old game shows. I watch old black and white game shows. I watch old movies. I love that kind of stuff. I love old Hollywood stuff. Like, it's so much more entertaining to me. I like it. And, don't get me wrong, I like modern stuff as well, but I really do really enjoy old Hollywood stuff. So I like that aesthetic. I like that they've got this. I was a big fan of Boardwalk Empire. I like period pieces, so it definitely gets me into it. We've got this guy bought a drink for her friend, and then I think we're starting to get to where the meat of this is going to be. But there's a funny scene that happens where in the summer they decide they're going to have a parade at the studio, and the parade uniform, of course, is like, what? And it's her and a bunch of like people who never were there before. They're just dancers they hired for the parade. Like, and the real cops are standing there watching, like, the LAPD are standing there watching, like, what is this crap? And she feels like, it's not, she's humiliated. being in that skimpy outfit and everything else. Um, and again, I like that this is a skimpy outfit because again, at the times. So anyway, then she's looking for Betty later, and they're all gonna meet up, and I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to do too much. I want you to follow. There is going to be a mystery here, and I really am interested to see how this whole thing plays out and seeing Abigail become a full-fledged police officer, which I'm assuming is where we're going with this. And really just, again, I really like the art in this book. It's just something, it's weird. I can't really explain it, but there's something to the art in this series where it's got this like simple flat shading, but at the same time not, and at the same it's hard for me to wrap my mind, like to wrap the words around it and to really get it, which is wonderful because this is what I do, is I make videos where I talk about comic books, so it's awesome that I can't come up with the words to describe what I'm trying to say here. That's really fantastic. So anyway, I definitely will continue to recommend this series. This is a good issue. Again, you get into this world, you get pulled, at least for me, I get pulled into this world and Abigail's life, and I'm really interested to see what's happening because she is as much of an outsider to this whole thing as we are as readers. And that's what I think makes it really interesting, because we're learning through her eyes what this world really is. And I think as we keep going, we're going to see a darker and seedier side to this whole thing. Right now, everything is still pretty sparkles and stars in the eyes, but I don't think it's going to last that way. So that is Tinsel Town number 2. Number 2 in a 5-issue series from Alterna Comics. $150. You could still get the whole series. Get it on their website. Really good art, excellent writing. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing the series and seeing how it goes, and I'll share my reviews with you as we go. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and jingle that bell for notifications. If you're already subscribed, awesome. You are cool. If you're not already subscribed, you can be cool by hitting subscribe. It's that easy. If you've ever sat around thinking like, oh man, I wish I was cool, just hit the subscribe button on this channel and you will be cool. So anyway, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at jam_creates. I am on Instagram at jam_creates. And talk to me in the comments, man. Let me know what you think of this issue. Let me know what you think of this series. Let me know what you think of this video. Give me your best recipe for walnut brownies or something, or a brookie. If you give me a brookie recipe, that'd be awesome. I love brownies and brookies and all that stuff. So anyway, if you don't know what a brookie is, it's like a brownie and a cookie mashed together. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon, and peace out.